Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today. And get this, we're going to explore how you can use the power of language, just words, to actually attract, like, wealthy clients.
Yeah.
We've got this awesome video we're pulling from, chock full of insights into, like, the minds of those affluent individuals.
Yeah, how they think, how they communicate, all that.
Exactly. And it really makes you think, right? Have you ever considered how, like, changing a word or two can completely change how those high-value clients view your entire business?
It's wild, honestly.
It is. So, okay, let's jump right in. The video, it gives this super interesting example, right? It says, ditch the word cost, swap it out with investment.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know. I'm totally guilty of saying cost all the time. Like, what's the psychology behind that switch?
Well, so the video actually, they highlighted the study and it found that something like 80% of wealthy clients, they're willing to pay more, a premium, if they get that personalized service.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so by using investment, you're tapping into that, you know? Like, they want something exclusive, tailor-made for them, not just off the rack.
Makes sense.
It's not just an expense then, it's like a step toward growth, you know?
I totally get it. It's like,
Right.
instead of hitting up the corner coffee shop, you're whisking them away to that super fancy place with the, what do they call it, the siphon coffee maker?
Yeah.
And the barista's like, hand grinding beans, making latte art, the whole 9 yards.
It's an experience.
Totally. And I'm definitely guilty of falling for that myself sometimes, you know? But there's just something about it, that experience, that feels like it's worth those extra few bucks.
It's the feeling, right?
Exactly.
Mm.
And the video really digs into this, how you can create like a story around that desire, that transformation they're looking for.
It's not just about the product itself, but about how it like changes your client's life, the whole picture.
Oh, I see. So instead of focusing on, say, the bells and whistles of a coaching program, you tell a story about how it helps someone just like them, like double their income or finally hit that work-life balance.
You got it.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And it's not just those individual success stories, right? The video mentions that affluent individuals, they're often driven by this desire for exclusivity, like to be part of something,
Unique.
yeah, unique and prestigious.
Like the VIP section, you know?
Exactly. Speaking of exclusivity, the video had this whole section on what it called exclusivity triggers. What are some examples of that, and how can businesses actually use them, like in real life?
Okay, well, think about like luxury brands. They're the masters at this, right? They use words that evoke a sense of rarity, heritage, like bespoke craftsmanship. Phrases like limited edition or handcrafted or even like sourced from the finest materials. All those create this aura of like
Ooh, fancy.
exclusivity. And that's what those clients find appealing, right?
So if you're a business owner, you could totally think about the language you use on, like, your website, your marketing materials, even just in those first chats with potential clients.
Absolutely.
Like, if you want those high-end clients, you got to speak their
You
language.
gotta meet them where they are, And it's not just about like sounding fancy or anything.
Right.
It's about truly understanding what your ideal client values and then reflecting that back to them in like how you talk to them.
This is blowing my mind. One thing that really grabbed my attention in the video was this deposits and paperwork thing.
Oh, yeah.
It seems so counterintuitive at first. Why avoid talking about money directly when, let's be real, that's a huge part of any business transaction?
It's funny, right? Because logically, you'd think you'd want to be upfront about costs, lay it all out.
Yeah. Transparency and all that.
But the video makes this argument that by shifting the focus to deposits and paperwork, you're kind of subtly signaling that this is serious,
Oh, I see. Like a real commitment.
Like a partnership, not just a quick deal.
Like, we're not just after a quick buck. We're in this for the long haul.
Exactly. And that speaks directly to the mindset of these clients who are often looking for long-term solutions and value.
Not just a one-time fix.
Right. They want the whole package.
This is so interesting. It's like, you're not just anyone. You got to be invited in,
That's it. That exclusivity.
Yeah. When I first heard this tip, I was like, is this just a sneaky way to avoid saying the price tag? But now I'm seeing it's not about that at all.
Right. It's about emphasizing the value, the commitment. You're on the same page.
It's a whole different vibe.
And it clicks with these clients. They get it.
They're not about nickel and diming. They want the results.
Exactly. They're looking at the bigger picture,
So instead of, like, itemizing every cost, you'd focus on the transformation they'll get from working with you.
Yeah, paint that picture.
Show them the destination.
Let's say you're a financial advisor, right? Instead of leading with, hey, here's my fee structure, you talk about the peace of mind they'll get, the security.
Ooh, that sounds good.
You're not selling a service, you're selling a feeling.
That feeling of, like, finally I can breathe.
Right, that freedom.
So much better than just an hourly rate on a piece of paper.
It speaks to their desires, you know? Like the video says, choose your world.
If you want to play in the big leagues,
You gotta talk to talk.
it's like, dress for the job you want, not the job you have, but for language.
I like that. It's not just about the words themselves, though. It's the whole story you build around your business.
So instead of all those features and benefits, you're painting that picture of what? The transformation.
Exactly.
They're not just buying a product, they're buying a whole new them.
And that could be anything, right? More confidence, success, maybe even like a sense of purpose.
Whoa, that's deep.
It's about going beyond the surface, you know?
Which raises a question. How do you actually do that? Like create a story that's both like captivating and real.
It all comes down to understanding your ideal client.
Like really getting them.
What are their struggles, their dreams? What keeps them up at night?
It's almost like being a detective, figuring out what makes them tick.
I love that. It's about digging deeper, going beyond just like surface assumptions.
And then using what you find to create a communication style that's both,
Authentic.
but also makes them reach for something better.
Meeting them where they are, but showing them where they could be.
Powerful stuff. It really is. It's like there's so much more to it than meets the eye.
Right. It's like you said, psychology.
Yeah, it's not just using fancy words. It's about understanding what actually makes people decide to do things.
And that's what's so cool about it.
It's like you have the secret weapon now.
Yeah, you can shape how people see things, create experiences, just with words.
You're speaking their language, but like on a whole other level.
The video even like gives these specific tips on how to do it, you know? Like instead of just talking about the steps involved in a service, you talk about the journey.
Oh, right, like a story.
Yeah. Paint that picture of where they'll end up.
Show them the destination, not just the roadmap.
It's way more effective than just listing features and benefits, trust me.
You know, it's funny. One of the things that really surprised me in this video was how counterintuitive some of the advice was.
Yeah, like what?
Like that whole avoid talking about money directly thing,
Yeah, that one throws people off.
It feels almost backwards in business, right?
It does, but that's what's so clever about it.
You got to think outside the box.
Exactly. And when you do, that's when you get those amazing results.
I'm telling you, I'm walking away from this with a whole new appreciation for just how powerful language can be.
It's more than just communication. It's like building something real.
It's the foundation for those client relationships, those experiences that matter.
And the best part is anyone can learn this stuff.
Right. It's not rocket science.
It just takes a willingness to try new things, step outside your comfort zone a little.
So here's a thought. If you could change just one word in how you talk about your business to really connect with those ideal clients, what would it be? Think about that for a second.
One word, that's a powerful question.
It really makes you think, huh?
Yeah, because even the smallest change can have a huge impact.
Well, this deep dive has been amazing. I've got so much to think about.
It's been great chatting with you. And remember, the more you understand these little things, the better you can connect with clients.
And ultimately, build a business that thrives.
Exactly. So keep experimenting. See what happens when you tweak your language. You might be surprised what you discover.
That's great advice. Thanks for being here. And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Be sure to subscribe to the show for more deep dives into fascinating topics just like this one. We'll see you next time.